Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo. Let me ask you a question. Whenever you go on a trip, do you bring any of your jewelry making supplies? I do. And today, I'm actually getting ready to go on a trip, so you and me are going to pack some of my jewelry supplies. So actually, it's not just jewelry supplies. It will also be some other crafting supplies, but I'll get into that in a minute. First off, I want to pack my tools. So I have this really cool container that I've had for quite some time. I used to sell 31 bags, and this was one of the bags that was pretty popular. It's actually a lunch container. I think you can find bags like this places at Walmart, but it works really, really well to put your jewelry tools in because the way it opens, it just opens like this, and then you have all your jewelry supplies in there. Now, let's go through here and make sure I've got everything that I need. So right now, my sister Tammy Pally over at Peacecraft Dolls and I are getting ready to host a virtual Blythe retreat. It's a doll retreat where we do crafts and stuff for our dolls. And I have some extra tools in here for that because I actually have several workshops during this retreat that are all jewelry making. And so some of the supplies I have in here, I don't normally take with me, but since I'm going to be gone during that time and somebody might have a question about how to do something, I probably need to bring all the tools that I would be using at the retreat. Boy, when I opened it up, I had quite the mess in there. I don't think I'd cleaned it out since my last trip. Anyway, here is my bag. Like I said, it's a lunch bag. And I always like to take these. These are a really cool pair of pliers. If you ever want to open up jump rings, not jump rings, split rings, this is a really cool tool to have. It is a split ring opener, and I always take that with me. I like to have my memory wire cutters. Whenever I work on guitar string jewelry or any type of stainless steel, these are really good to have. I like to have my long nose or needle nose pliers and my bit nose pliers, and then my regular flat nose pliers, and then my flush cutters. Only need one pair of those. I like these round nose pliers. And then, of course, I just got these not too long ago. I love these. Look at all the different size of round nose pliers you have there. Now, lately, I've been really getting into wire jewelry. And so I'm going to bring my ring mandrel, my hammer, and then my little device that I put my metal piece on to hammer it. That's got to come. This will be its first trip. I got my file. By the way, emery board works really well too. And then I've got my nylon pliers. This is really good for straightening out wire. Got to have that. And then I really like these. These are great to make jump rings. You can make little ones or big ones. It's important to have a pair of scissors. Of course, we need a ruler and a, what are these called? Bead reamer. I use these quite a bit, not just for reaming beads though. Now remember I said I'm going to be bringing some things that I don't normally bring. I'm bringing some lipstick. And I use this as a tool. Remember my little ring mandrel? It kind of serves the same purpose, but in my video that I'll be showing at the retreat, I talk about being able to use something like this to make circles with your wire. Oh my goodness, look what my son brought me. Au gratin potatoes. This looks really sinful. That's good. I'm just going to set that aside so it can cool a little bit while I finish this video. I like to bring polishing cloths. I actually have 2 polishing cloths here. I really don't need them both, but they don't take up that much room, and they may serve as a little bit of a cushion for some of this stuff, so they're both going in there. This is some odds and ends and stuff. I have a tape measure in there. Whoops! Clumsy here. And I have one of these. I really like these. These are great for opening split rings. I also have a long pin that I use quite frequently. Okay, what's that? Need to put that in my wire stash. What else do I have here? Oh, these things. Have y'all ever used these? These are great when you're making a necklace. Keeps your beads from falling off the other end. That would be bad. I'm going to bring one of these. And I've got some pencils and eraser in here. Pencil sharpener. And let's see. I am going to bring some paintbrushes. And remember I told you I've got other craft supplies that I'll be bringing? I'm going to bring some paint. And it has nothing to do with jewelry. I actually like to paint palm fronds. I'm going to my mom's house to visit, and a lot of times I go in her yard and clean it up, bring some palm fronds that fell off of her tree, clean those up, and paint them. But that's on my other channel. So if you're curious about that, hop on over to Be Creative with Terry Jeanette, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, I do want to bring these. Now, I do have a crochet hook. But I really don't need to bring this one because I have a whole little zipper thing that's very similar to this container that I'm filling up that has all kinds of crochet stuff. And I do a lot of crochet jewelry, so that does come along with me. And one other tool I like to bring are these little tweezers. Sometimes I have a hard time picking things up, and that makes life a lot simpler. I have my little notebook. This is my Virtual Blythe Retreat 2026 notebook. I always like to bring paper and pencil because if I have any ideas while my husband's driving down the road and I'm the passenger, I can write down those ideas. I do plan on bringing some guitar strings that I've already cleaned. I might want to make something out of those. Maybe just a few, though. I'm not going to bring a whole bunch. And I have a cloth that I like to clean things with. I have another bag here that has wire, chain, ear wires, lobster claw clasps, head pins, eye pins, just a conglomeration of different things that I might use. Is there anything in here that I didn't mention? Oh, spacer beads. And then in this container, another 31 bag, I've got a variety of different beads that I think I might use. And most of them are for the Virtual Blythe Retreat, but there's a few things that are not. Here's my guitar strings. They fit perfectly in this little pocket. Now all I have to do is gather up my paint. By the way, right there is an example of one of my painted palm fronds. But once I get my paint gathered up, I'll have all my little craft supplies ready to travel. So let me know down in the comment section below, whenever you travel, do you bring any craft supplies? Now, just FYI, this is kind of an extended trip we're doing. We're going to be at my husband's mom's house for 2 weeks. We're going to be at my mom's house for a month. And then we're going to be at my daughter's house for about a week. And my mom's kind of getting old, and so is his mom. They don't like to go anywhere, so we just kind of sit around and talk and watch TV, and it kind of drives me crazy. I know that's really bad, but I'm not one that just can sit around. I can sit around and do crafts, so while we chit-chat and do stuff, I'm working on a project. And that's why I bring all this stuff. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. I'm going to go enjoy my au gratin potatoes. Bye-bye.